Hello guys, my name is Stefani Clara Kunakoban and this time I will explain about passive construction and a transitive verb. Okay, passive construction means the passive voice. The basic of passive construction in all languages are formed from transitive verb. Transitive verb is verb that requires an object to receive the action. For example, Ria borrowed the math book. How we can identify the object of the sentence? We can use this question, that is, what did Ria borrow? Okay, here the example of passive constructions. From the example before, we can say that all the active sentences have transitive verb, a verb that has a subject and direct object. And all the passive sentences have only a subject and no object. They have become intransitive verb. The passive in English can therefore be recognized by the following signs. The first, subject of the active sentence greater than demoted by, phrase or related. It means that the noun phrase that was the original subject in the active sentence has been demoted in the passive sentence. It's no longer a subject, but instead appears inside a prepositional phrase headed with by. In fact, the original subject of the active sentence doesn't necessarily appear in the passive sentence at all. And the second one is object of the active sentence greater than promoted to subject of the passive. It means that the noun phrase that was the original object in the active sentence has been promoted in its sentence of be, becoming the subject in the passive sentence. Finally, the verbs in the passive sentence differ in form from the verbs of the active sentence. And the last one is passive contain auxiliary be plus past participle of the main verb. All the passive sentences contain the past participle form of the verb. For example, taken, stolen, revived. And they all contain a form of be as an auxiliary. For example, word taken, was stolen, has been revived. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Hi friends, so in this change I will explain about passive construction and intransitive verb. Prepositional passive is a passive form of a sentence that contains an intransitive verb. Intransitive verb is a verb that does not require a direct object. So, prepositional passive is a passive form where the subject is the object of preposition which is taken from prepositional phrase in the active sentence form. Next, the form of passive construction that using intransitive verb. If the active form is subject plus verb intransitive plus preposition plus object of preposition. So, the passive form is subject which is object of preposition plus auxiliary verb plus past participle intransitive and plus preposition. Next, the example of passive construction that using intransitive verb. If the active sentence is all the audience laugh at the comedian, so the passive sentence is the comedian was laughed at by all at the audience. The other example you can see in this slide.
My name is Agnes Ani Ferrata Munob. I want to explain about an antipassive contraction. Antipassive is a scientific process which occurs only ergative language and which changes the basic grammatical relation born by core argument in the following way: the mother or deletes an O and promets an A to an S. Example in 13a and 13b, as you can see in the file, the woman ate the meat and the woman ate some of the meat. In 13a, the woman noun phrase is the a argument of a transitive verb and it is therefore ergative, whilst the meat is the O argument of the transitive verb and therefore absolutive. And in the antipassive sentence in 13b, the former O argument meat is now demoted. It is no longer a core argument of the verb, but is instead an oblique noun phrase. The effect of this motion is to give the meat noun phrase a the meat noun phrase partitive reading. The woman ate some of or part of the meat as indicated in the translation. The antipassive contraction has a variety of functions in ergative language, including giving rise to a partitive reading. Example in 14a and b. In 14a, father attacked the bear, and b, father ran at the bear. In the active sentence in 14a, the father noun phrase is the a argument of the transitive verb and hence is marked with ergative case, whilst the bear noun phrase is an O, the object of a transitive verb. The antipassive again has the effect of demoting the form object. The bear noun phrase is in 14b has become dative and we get the effect of running at the bear rather than attacking it, and hence is marked as an S with absolutive case, and the verb now agrees with just this single core argument.
Hey, I'm Apriana Elo. Now I want to explain to you about the passive or process that change grammatical relation. The passive construction is mostly found in an accusative system, while the antipassive occurs exclusively in ergative system. Both passive and antipassive constructions have the effect of creating a new argument, so both constructions have the effect of making a primary into a non-primary into a primary. Standard active clause for an ergative language in an intransitive clause. The first one, clause an ordinary active clause such as O is the object of intransitive verb has been demoted. The verb is the transitivized by the suffix, and in the second, the mother is a primary but has been demoted.
Okay, I am Florinda Jenny Bitumeja. I will explain about the applicative contraction. Well, the applicative contraction is used to promote an object and former object demote to a second object. For example, I will choose from this module and explain to you. The first example is father hit mother with a stick, which is mother is indirect object and with a stick is instrumental phrase that can be promoted to an object mother. Second example is father used a stick to hit mother. This example called dative movement because from father hit mother become father used a stick to hit mother. Third example is the hare bought shoes for the zebras. Become the hare bought the zebras shoes. And the zebras were bought shoes by the hare. In this example, the applicative contraction is promoted by the zebras. Thank you.
Okay guys, I want to explain to you about the causative construction as the last major construction type which changes grammatical relations. The causative construction in English is introduce a new subject and a new predicate. You can see in example. This example is creating a whole new words. This means that the causative construction turns the simple sentence or with just one clause. You can see in example number 1 and 2 point A into complex sentence in example number 1 and 2 point B. Okay, my friend Surya will tell you again about the causative construction. Thank you.
Okay guys, I am Orvin. Now I will explain about causative construction. Causative construction are used to talk about action which we do not do personally but ask or pay somebody else to do for us. So when we do not perform an action ourselves but instead cause the action to be performed by another person, we describe the fact with a causative construction. The causative is constructed by combining a conjugate form of the verb to have or to get with the main verb past participle. Example, the first example, I'm having my house painted, or I paid another person to paint my house. The second example, I got my hair cut yesterday. I paid the hairdresser to cut my hair. I think that's all.